Well, hello, my friend, and welcome to this episode of the Unstoppably Creative podcast, where I am sharing with you 10 time management tips for creatives that actually work. Stay with me. Hey, I'm so glad you've decided to join me today. I'm Leslie Becker, Broadway actress turned business coach, and I am so excited to share with you 10 unique ways you can manage your time as a creative. And here's the thing, these 10 tips that I'm going to share with you are things for you to try and see what works for you. So we're going to jump right in. Time management tip number 1 is called do your art first. Now, this is especially important for those of you who are working another job, is that you want to make sure you get your art and your creativity in before you start the rest of your crazy day. Because even if you only put 15 minutes in the morning before you go into the rest of your day, you will at least get to the end of the day and know that you put in some kind of time on your creative art. So number 1 is do your art first. That means you will always finish a day having worked on your own creativity. All right, time management tip number 2 is to write things down. Now, I know a lot of us use our phone to make our schedules these days, but the reality is our brain actually needs the written version of that to process it correctly. It actually helps us remember it without having to look at our phone. So literally a trusty little notebook that you keep it in, your regular old style date book or schedule, write those things down. And of course, if you want to put it in your phone as well, you can absolutely do that. But when you write it down, it releases something in your brain that helps you remember it and use the time more wisely. All right, time management tip number 3 is on the same lines as writing it down, is to do it in a visual form. Creatives are very visual. And so for me personally, I have to write it down on a whiteboard that I can see all the time. Like right now, as I'm looking into this camera, on the other side of that camera is my whiteboard telling me my schedule of what has to get done today. I have to use that because not only does it help because my eyes are older and I need something bigger, but it's also this visual representation in my room that visually shows me this is what your day looks like. This is what you're going to check off. This is what you need to be doing, and it keeps me on track. So for you, if you are a very visual person, which most creatives are, make it big, make it visual, and put it in the center of the room. All right, time management tip number 4 is create your day the night before. That means make all your plans, set your priorities for the next day before the end of today. So after you've watched this video, before you go to bed tonight, I want you to sit down and create your schedule for the next day. This is so important because then you're able to wake up and just start your day, as opposed to waking up either with a blank slate or waking up and then asking yourself what's important today. If you do it the night before, you have your priorities already set. Now, when it comes to creatives, a lot of times it's hard to set those priorities, but a great question to ask yourself is this: what must I do tomorrow that if I don't complete it, will make it a fire the next day? So a great example of that is my top priority for today is creating this video. Because if I don't do it, there will be a fire tomorrow. I won't release a video. People will be wondering where I am. I didn't keep up the consistency. So that to me is a fire because I want to make sure that I'm always releasing a new YouTube video every single week. So set your priorities the night before and ask yourself, what must I do today that if I didn't, there would be a fire to put out tomorrow? All right, time management tip number 5 is one you're not going to like, and it's called do a time audit. You may have heard of this before, and you maybe tried to do an audit. I'm going to help you with this. Is if you just go to the show notes and download my free time audit template, this will take you through your day. Now, what is a time audit? It's a chance for you for a whole week's time to actually write down everything that you do in a day. Because as a creative, once we do a time audit and realize how much time we are spending and how we are spending it, we're able to structure our day in a better way that will not cramp our creativity. It will actually support it, and we will actually feel freer to do our creative art. All right, time management tip number 6 is back to the phone. I want you to turn off your phone whenever you are doing an important activity or task. I know turning off our phones is really hard. It's kind of scary. We like the sound of that ding, but here's what happens. When you hear that ding, you instantly go to that ding and want to get distracted. And we do not need distractions as creative. We have enough of our own. So I want to make sure that when you are engaged in a project that needs your 100% focus, turn off your phone, get rid of the distractions. Do not be drawn in by multiple text messages or dings or rings or whatever it is. Ditch the phone, turn it off, and get back to the work that really matters. So those first 6 tips were very foundational, things that you should naturally do to get control of your time. These last 4 that I'm going to share with you are techniques that I've used with my clients, and they involve a little more structure in them. So time management tip number 7 takes a little bit of time to create because you'll have to learn which day is best for you. And you can do that, by the way, by doing your time audit. But it's deciding that what day of the week is dedicated to what. In other words, maybe Monday is your day to do your art. Maybe Monday is the only day you actually do the crafting for your clients, whatever they've asked you to do, or things that you're creating on your own. You are actually physically writing or creating or putting yourself on camera, whatever is your form of art. That's day 1. Maybe your next day is dedicated to all the administrative things you have to keep your creative business going. So maybe that is the best time to do that. And maybe Wednesdays is the day that you actually spend all day selling, that you're pitching your stuff, you're getting yourself seen in front of people. Maybe your 4th day is that's the day that you meet people. That's the day you go out for lunches or coffee or whatever. Obviously, I'm just making up these ideas on the spot, but if you decide that you want to split up your week in days by what is dedicated to what, it is a great technique for you if you feel like you can parse certain days out for the kind of work that you do. All right, now tip number 8 is also another technique that I've used not only in my own life, but also for my clients that works amazingly well. So what I find is with creatives is that we have lots of ideas all the time. It's very rare that our brain ever stops. So it's very easy to get distracted because the minute we get another idea, we stop the project we're doing and we go off and do that, and suddenly we forget what we were doing. Here is a great thing that I call the bell technique that will help you do this. Is when you are working on a project, if you all of a sudden get another idea for a project or something you want to do, I don't want you to ignore that. I want you to actually honor it, but you're only going to honor it for 5 minutes. So the moment you get another idea that's distracting you from the project you're currently working on, I want you to set a timer for 5 minutes. You can take that 5 minutes to write down as much as you need to write down about that other idea. And the moment that timer goes off, you get back to your original project. There's no snooze button. The moment that bell goes off, put down your pen and actually get back to your original project. All right, on to time management tip number 9. So this is what I call the power hour. And this is a perfect technique for you if you are a multi-creative, you have many projects you're navigating, you also maybe have a full-time job. This is a way for you to make sure that you are making progress on each of these things that you're doing. First of all, it's 1 hour, but it's divided into 4 15-minute segments where you are going to commit 15 minutes to 4 different tasks every day. Now, here's the key. Those 4 different tasks are the same ones every day. They are the consistency over time that you are committing to make sure that you are continuing to make progress. So let's just say one of the things you are interested in is getting more clients, which, hey, that's for all of us. So one of your 15 minutes each day could be committed to reaching out to 3 people, just 3 people that you're going to reach out to in those 15 minutes. And then maybe one of your other ones is you're going to spend 15 minutes writing a chapter or whatever you're working on. If you're writing a book or if you're creating a piece of art, work on that one corner of your art piece, whatever it might be. So you're choosing 4 tasks that you're going to do every single day that are in the direct line of what you need to accomplish. Now, you might hear this and go, well, how is that different from a to-do list? Here is why it's different. This is a ritual that you are going to do every single day. Every single day in your calendar, not in your phone, in your written calendar, you're going to write down power hour. You are going to block out the time that you are doing your power hour. But here's where it's really unique. If you don't have 1 solid hour to dedicate to something, that's why this broken down into 15 minutes is great, because maybe if you're a busy mom, or again, like I said, you're working full time and doing this side hustle and doing your art, those 15 minutes can be broken up. It doesn't have to be all in the same hour. So you could say, hey, 15 minutes at noon, I've got 15 minutes to do this task. 15 minutes at 5 p.m., I have to do this task. So it's a way for you to break up that power hour in 15-minute time slots if you need to, so that you can still get all the things done that you need to. I want you to try this technique. It has worked for me for years. It has worked for my clients for years, especially for those of you who are busy multi-creatives. And finally, time management tip number 10 is allow yourself a chaos day. I know that feels like it's counter to everything that I just said, but here is the thing. Creatives need action. They need motion. They need to feel like they're making progress. They need to be in the thick of their creativity. And when you just let yourself have a day that is just kind of chaotic and not structured, it brings out other things in your creativity. So I want you to allow yourself that. Give yourself a day where you don't care about schedule. You have a blank schedule. And I know for those of you who work full time, you maybe can't do that, but you can do it on the weekends. Or maybe you just find 5 hours in your day or 3 hours, or maybe just an hour where you can just be scattered and chaotic and do whatever you want to do. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you do want help on that time audit, please do link that in the show notes. And if you are someone who feels like you really struggle with time management and using it well, I want you to sign up for one of my coaching sessions. I would love to coach you and just help you on your time management, take you through that time audit and allow you to discover what is the best schedule for you to set up your time for the most productivity. All right, my friend. Hey, if you like this, would you please give me a like, meaning click that button, tell me that you liked it, and leave me a comment. I'd love to hear what you liked about it, which technique you're going to apply. And if you loved this video, please hit that subscribe button so you can be with me every week as I help you increase your confidence, build momentum, and create wildly successful results in your business and your life. So until then, my friend, keep living your unstoppably creative life. Bye-bye.